Hi guys, welcome to my bookworm sanctuary. I'm Bianca and I wanted to give you my mid-month wrap up for January. With the books that I ended up reading in January, I read 14 books and out of those there was 4,693 pages read. And out of those there was 13 new books and 1 reread, 4 audio, 2 physical and 8 ebook. And out of those there was 4 3 stars, 6 4 stars, and 4 5 stars. I did end up giving you a mid-month wrap-up, and that had the first, I think, half a dozen books I read. But basically, I read Resting Witch Face, and I gave it a 4-star, 5 flame rating. This year, I've basically started giving myself a flame rating. It's how spicy, hot, whatever you want to call it, the book is for me. So it's a 5 flames, 4-star. Then Bad Guy by Ruby Dixon, I gave this one 4 flames and 5 stars. Then with Faking with Benefits, I gave 5 flames and 5 stars. Then with Blood Moon, I gave 3 stars and 2 flames. And then with Entranced by the Basilisks, I gave 3 stars and 3 flames. Dirty Wolf, I gave 3 stars, 1 flame. And Wicked Beauty, I gave 3 stars, 3 flames. Then with the rest of the books that I read for the month, I read The Heir. This is going to be a struggle. The Heir Apparent's Rejected Mate. Try to say that 5 times real quick. But basically with this one, it's 426 pages long. I read it as a Kindle Unlimited ebook. It's 4 stars, 4 flames. I really, really enjoyed this. I actually think I might bump it up to 5 stars. I really did enjoy this. Basically, Caddick is the heir. He's the heir. He's going to be the alpha of the pack. But his father and mother basically run the pack in his stead at the moment because he was too young when he was given the title of alpha. He's struggling with the whole thing. And Rosie and his attraction to Rosie. And the thing with this one is as well, the back of the book makes it sound like, I'm not spoiling anything, but the back of the book makes it sound like the pregnancy happens pretty much straight away. It doesn't. It's like a little over half of the way through the book before you even get to that point. So I'd say this one's more of a slow burn, but I really, really enjoyed it. It really picked up for me when Rosie ended up having to leave the pack and just everything. I really loved this book. And Kadek, he just realised he needed to change for Rosie, and the pack needed to change, but he just didn't know how to go about it. And then once Rosie fell pregnant, his priorities started to slot into place a little bit better. And yeah. Oh, by the way, do you like my cup? I love it. Hi, Eve. And then I read The Lone Wolf's Rejected Mate. So this is book 3 in the 5 packs. Please don't do that. I read this as a Kindle Unlimited ebook. It was 316 pages long. I gave this 4 stars, 4 flames. Dara, I'm sorry, I really can't pronounce his name, but we're going to call him Dara, and Mari. And basically Mari was very young when she realised he was her mate, and he's more of a lone wolf kind of guy, and they have sex and then he rejects her. But pretty quickly he realizes that he sort of fucked up, and then he wants Mari, but he doesn't feel like he's good enough for Mari, and so he spends like the last 5 years loving her basically. And Mari, for her part, has tried to move on and is in the process of moving on when she's kidnapped by these heinous people who basically want to use the wolves. So they want to exploit the fated male-female thing. So they want to hunt them. The humans want to hunt them for money, basically. So you pay a lot of money to go hunt a mated pair, and you string up the female and try to lure the male in. And because of his bond and whatnot, he's a little bit mindless, so it makes it a little easier on the humans to hunt, and it's a whole thing. It's freaking stupid. So poor Murray is tortured, so keep that in mind. And Dara comes for her, and I really like this. And then I read Tempting Visions. Tempting Visions surprised me. I didn't expect to like this, and I don't think this is going to be for everybody. How to say this? Just watch the trigger warnings for this one. This is kind of heavy. I don't want to spoil anything for you, but I feel like I need to let you know. Watch the trigger warnings. This has got very graphic on-page infant death, so keep that in mind. It was a little traumatic and very sad. And because of Kiva's past, she's been kept and bred against her will. So keep that in mind. If this is not for you, please don't touch it. It is it's kind of heavy, but I didn't really feel the heaviness of it, if that makes sense. So yeah, just be kind to yourself and possibly don't touch this if you think you can't deal with infant loss and the ramifications. So we meet Kiva, and she's just escaped this pack, and she's jumped in a river to escape, and she's basically starting to drown. And Liam's pack, one of his right hand man dude, fishes her out of the water basically, and straight away Liam realizes that there's something weird about this woman. She has more or less destroyed this entire pack, and they were fighting over her. So what is so special about Kiva? And Liam also realizes, more or less, but he's a bit in denial, straight away, that she is his mate. And she's obviously recently given birth, so there's a question about her children there for him. And this, I just loved this book. I really did. But then I ended up reading Tempting Fate, which is the second book. So there's only 2 books out in it so far. It's called the Black Mane Pack. And with this one, it's 296 pages long. I read it as a Kindle ebook, and it's a 4-star, 3 flame rating for me. With this one, I wanted more. More of the couple. A lot more in the world is starting to happen and stuff, and that's really intriguing for me. And the whole thing with Kiva's past, and this series has a lot of potential, and I'm hoping it continues to get better. But there's only 2 books out so far that I'm aware of, and the third I think is coming soon. Don't hold me to that. But basically, Tyler is one of Liam's right-hand man, and basically he went through some drama in the last book with Kiva's stuff, and he protected them, and yeah, he ended up finding his mate, and his mate was an abusive woman. And unfortunately, he's got the physical and emotional scars due to that, and he has to basically go on a trip and send back. But there was a few werewolves and things that they ended up, what's the word I'm getting? So basically Tyler has to take some wolves back to their original packs, and I can't think of her name. But basically Sophia, oh my God, I can't think of her name. Anyway, he's got to take her back to her pack. And she has an identical twin sister, and Stella was born without legs. And Stella gets around on a skateboard, is very capable, is a tattoo artist, and her parents are heinous, as you do. And basically, Tyler and Stella meet straight away and realise they're mates. And Tyler's been given a second chance. And yeah, I just think there should have been more with those 2. They were sort of forced apart, and she uproots her entire life for him. And because of the plot stuff going on, it looks like a war is coming, basically. So I'm kind of excited, kind of interested to see how all of it will go. We'll see. Then I read Resolution Revolution. Yeah, Resolution Revolution. Try to say that 5 times real quick. Anyway, this was only 59 pages long. I read it as a Kindle Unlimited book. This is just a small little story about Karen and Will. I liked this. I love Evie Mitchell. I get to meet her in Rare soon, so I can't wait for that. It was very short, but it had some pretty funny moments in it. And basically, Karen has this podcast and she's forced to get outside of her comfort zone, basically. And I think it was like some sort of thing. I can't remember now. Some sort of outdoor adventure she had to go to. And that's how she meets Will. And Will's this single guy with like half a dozen kids, biological and adopted. And yeah, it's just a really quick little novella. I really loved it. I ended up reading Feral Sins by Suzanne Wright. So with this one, I gave it 5 stars. No, I gave it 4 stars, 4 flames. And it was an audio book at 429 pages long. And this is an older book, so you've probably read it before. I'm almost certain I have read this before, but I can't remember, and I can't see the physical book in my collection. So I could be wrong about that, but whatever. Basically, with Feral Sins, Trey and Taryn. I went down a huge rabbit hole in this series. If you got the Kindle Unlimited book, you could download the audio book from Audible free. So that's what I did. And because I had to drive down to Nowra, which is an 11-hour trip, but when you add all the breaks, it took me 12 and a half hours. So go me. So I listened to audiobooks while I was driving. So basically, with Feral Sin, Taryn is put in a pickle. She is being forced by her dad to mate this prick, basically. So she's kidnapped by Trey, and Trey sort of needs Taryn so he can get her father's ally as an ally, so he can get more support for his tiny little pack against his uncle. Because when Trey was like 14 or something like that, he ended up leaving his pack and forming a new pack called the Phoenix Pack. And Taryn, she can't shift. She's latent, and she has this very interesting banter with Greta, which is Trey's grandmother, who has this protective thing over her boys, and it's fucking funny. And yeah, I really liked this. This was cool. And then from there I read Munro. So Munro was a reread for me. It's 432 pages long. Obviously 5 stars, 5 flames. I love The Immortals After Dark. Love them. So Karenini and Munro, it's time travel. He's like a werewolf. He basically has to time travel and get her, and look, I don't want to tell you too much about it, but it's a fantastic book. It's a fantastic series. I've been reading this series, I'm pretty sure, since I was about 17, 18, 19. I don't remember, but a long time. And yeah, read the Immortals After Dark series. Yeah, that was basically my wrap up. It took me way too long to do that. So thanks for watching. Really do appreciate it. And I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks, guys. Bye.